Many people misgauge what is the type of economy we live in. Many people still think we live in a gig economy, and while there's nothing wrong with it, the signs are coming, obviously, that we are in a combined age economy. This is Jimi Hendrix, and this is the first part of a two-part episode called Combined Age Economy on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. I'm Jimi Hendrix. I am a success, confidence, and thrive coach, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and founder of James Hendrix Empowerment. I believe that there are success patterns to help us receive more, to help us live a better and extraordinary life. I also believe that there are temporal and spiritual tips to help us overcome adversity and to step into an extraordinary life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Let's go. You know, it is not just my theory that we live into a combined age economy. I've read the likes of Dr. De La Torre McNeil II and Robert Kiyosaki, and they both say we're in a combined age economy, and our culture just refuses to catch up. And why? Because we're all stuck in the dark age. And you're probably saying to yourself, Jimmy, what do you mean by dark age? The industrial age. People say, well, it's a gig economy. You get one gig, you get one shop, that's it. It's not a collective thing. I kind of want to say, don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert in economics. I didn't do as well as I could have in that class in economics. But you have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to see that the current economic age that we're in is combined. Combined. And I know some of you are like, Jimmy, come on, man. That is nuts to say. No, the signs are coming. Look, we have hyperinflation. We have a falling dollar. And yet, all the pundits can't even catch up. It's jobs. We need to create more jobs. We need to have better job security. Really? I say to them, really? I remember back in the 1990s, my buddy Keith, his stepfather worked with one of the airlines. And, he was making some planning of retirement, I think, that did not necessarily depend upon his pension, because I think he knew that they were in decline back in the 1990s. And so we're going to cover the first age that started this combined age. 1995. The advent of, my favorite thing and not so favorite thing, the internet. And so, back in those days, I listened to American statesmen that I admired, like Newt Gingrich, that were kind of saying, hey, wake up. The industrial age is over. We're in information age now. We got to wake up and catch up. But have we? Some quarters are. I think some of the younger generations are starting to catch on, but not totally. And you're probably thinking, well, Jimmy, what does that have to do with me being an entrepreneur? Depends on what type of entrepreneurship you're having. If you're, say you're like my granddad, he was 51 years old when he started his front front end and the front end alignment business. And he retired at age 56 because of ill health. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's still information age, but say I could see, and granddad knew I was going to college, and so he turned over to me the management of the deal, and I could hire out a mechanic to do the work. Not saying that actually happened, but what I am saying is that my granddad planted in me a heart to someday own my own business, which I'm working on. I'm working on developing some crowdfunding to really launch it the way it should be. But here's the beauty of it, okay? Here's the beauty of it. You're going to have your business on some form of social media. As much as it pains me. I have to be honest with you. As much as it pains me. But LinkedIn is an answer to that. What ails me. Once I can figure out how to launch a business page there. I've already got the Empower Your Pattern Mastermind there on LinkedIn. If you can look it up, send me a request to join. I'm Mother James Kendrick. I'd love to have you guys join. Now, information age. I remember that very well in its infancy. 1994-95. Some of the stuff that you had to wait and look in the catalog card system at the library, or look through the periodicals, even down there, be microfilm and microfiche. A friend of mine, and I'm only going to be giving his pseudonym name, and that's because we were friends for a brief time, sadly. I'm going to give him the name Larry Thurber. In fact, he's going to be mentioned in the fictional podcast I have on the early life of my alter ego, JR. It's called J.R. Hendrick, Texan Gentleman. But anyway, I digress. He taught me how you can just get some information off the BBS system on the internet and pluck it down, put it in a word processor and print it, or just, like I used to do sometimes, use the voice synthesizer on the university computer and have it read it to me myself. Sometimes I print it out if it was compacted enough, but you'd be surprised what you can find on the internet. And so slowly but surely, everything became cataloged on the internet, y'all, and I think including down to how to find periodicals on the internet. Hopefully, bye-bye microfilm and microfiche. Because I want to tell you something. Had a teacher try to get me to do that when I was in Christian school one year. And sadly, she didn't know how to deal with a blind student. But I'll tell you this much. There are some perks about this information age that we better grab a hold of. Okay? This ain't something that we can just sit around and talk about and forward about anymore. You know how several episodes I've talked about, hey, don't look back. The last episode, look forward. And you're thinking, well, why look forward? If you're an entrepreneur, listen to me. We're a combined age economy. And if it started with the information age, think about it. I used to love it in college when I could get the information I needed for school research, and even, my own personal research. Get it? Take it from the internet, just, whether it was copy and paste, whether it was a DOS system, or whatever system back in the day, before I got exposed to full-blown Windows in 1999. You could just take information and just copy it down, put it in word processor, and plammo. And then I remember, I think it was in 2001, my father came to visit me one evening, and he taught me how to do that with Windows. And I've enjoyed it ever since. Because you can take information, you can take photos, plug them down, insert them in documents. I even done some and inserted it on some of my podcast titles. But I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself. Information age. I still remember how that all got started, and I was excited. I think it took a while for some older generations to catch up. I know my grandmother, my mama's side, Lord bless her, so she could never catch up to it. I'd come home summer 1995, so by summer I saw her live, and I'd come home with all this college lingo and stuff about the information age, and she would just say, "Son, would you please stop? I'm a backwoodsy girl. Start speaking plain to me." Other than maybe her work at Granddad's shop, I never saw her. I don't think I ever saw her with a computer. Now, she'd play video games. Shoot, yeah. The kids on the block used to play her, call her Pac-Man Granny. Of course, I didn't like calling her Granny. She just had me call her Grandma, which is good. But this information age is exciting. Here I was, 24, 25 years old, and I'm like, all right. We can start moving beyond industrial age. But unfortunately, what's being taught in schools, what's being taught in conventional society, we haven't been able to catch up. And I guess that's why on my political show, the James Haddie Hendricks School of Leadership, this combined age economy, I think it's good for people to start thinking for themselves. And why? Because our economy is evolving faster than conventional wisdom can keep up. And I know some people are going to say, well, Jimmy, you're all wet. You're all wet, you're not making sense. Read the literature. Get some books by Dr. Delatoro II. Get books by Robert Kiyosaki. Shoot, I think even Dave Ramsey. Look it up. It's not hard to see the obvious. Now, tomorrow I will come on, and I'm going to talk about the combined age. Okay, so be ready, because you guys are in for a treat about the rest of this. Now, with that, I hope you enjoy listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying, until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can step up, step out, and step into how what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless each and every one of you guys. You guys take care. See you soon.